Hey guys, you language lovers out there, Julio here. Good to do another video on language, and today is about the Indonesian language. And before I start that, I'd like to give you some quick facts about the language. So first, choose a language. I like to think about its place in the world and its ranking. And when it comes to Indonesian, it's 12 in terms of most widely spoken languages. And I'm gonna say the order so you have an idea. So it's number 12. After English, Mandarin, Hindi, Spanish, French, Arabic, Bengali, Russian, Portuguese, Urdu, and then comes Indonesia. So number 12. And another thing I like to consider is the number of speakers, which means that I have more opportunities to use this language. So the total number is 200 million, from which L1 or native speakers are 43 million speakers. And the rest, of course, you just do the math, is 157 million are speakers of Indonesian second language. And as for its classification, so it belongs to the Malayo-Polynesian family of languages, and it's intelligible with Malay, which has also about 200 million speakers, from which 77 million speak it as L1 or first language or a native language. Another interesting thing about Indonesian is that since it belongs to this Malayo-Polynesian family of languages, if you learn it later on, you could learn Malagasy, so the language spoken in Madagascar, and now the way to up to languages spoken in Hawaii, they have some similarities, so you help you learning other Polynesian languages. So where is Indonesian spoken? Of course, as the name says, Indonesian, so it's spoken in Indonesia, and also in East Timor, which is a former colony of territory of Indonesian. And the reason why it's a question I also always ask myself: why study Indonesian? So if you watch my videos, you know that there's always a why, because I don't think it's cool to, well, if you have time to study any language, I don't think you're gonna waste time, but the why is very important. So Indonesian, the reason why I get interested in this language is because in the 90s, whilst you were at the Faculty of Letters of Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, I met a guy from Indonesia called Johnny. So he talked about the language and got all interested, and also gave me a dictionary, which unfortunately, I think I lost it. But that's why. So I met this guy from Indonesia. Due to the interaction, I got interested in the language. That's something that happens with me quite frequently. Okay, so and another thing is important for me to choose Indonesian is because if you're considering Indonesian, at a certain point you thought if you're gonna learn Indonesian or Malay, which are actually intelligible. But the reason why I chose Indonesian over Malay is reason one is because Indonesian has more speakers than Malay. Second reason is the pronunciation. There was a time I got a book from the library, a Malay book. I don't think that the reading is as straightforward as in Indonesian. It has some weird readings, if you will. Not weird, but it means that I think that I like languages that you pronounce words as they're written. In that aspect, I think Indonesian is much better. Another reason is I'm not trying to make fun of Indonesians, but in general terms, so Malays are more proficient in English than Indonesian, which means that if you learn Malay and you go to Malaysia, probably people are gonna talk back to you in English. Whereas in Indonesia, maybe that won't happen. They reply in Indonesian. So that's another reason. So and reason number 4 is in terms of this intelligibility thing. It is said that Malays understand Indonesian better than the other way around, which means that if you speak Indonesian, you talk to Malay who understand better than if you learn Malay and try to talk to Indonesian. Does it make sense? So that's the reason why I chose Indonesian. Let's go to some interesting things about when you compare Indonesian with other languages. It's very interesting that when I started learning Indonesia, I saw some words similar to Japanese, and it kind of surprised me. For instance, the word to enjoy, to like, in Indonesian is suka, and in Indonesian is in Japanese it's suki. The word for you in Indonesian is anda, and in Japanese is anata. Maybe that's just a coincidence because in Arabic we also say anta, and in Hebrew we said ata. But this is very interesting. So if, let's say, let's say I want to say like I like you. So in Indonesian there will be saya suka Anda. And let's say that for just for a minute I change the order of Japanese. Instead of saying watashi wa anata ga suki, if I say watashi suki anata, so it sounds very similar, doesn't it? Another interesting word that I found was ikut, which means to follow. In Japanese, ikut means to go. Another verb that I found, so minum, to drink, in Japanese is nomu. So let's get a crazy example here. Let's say Farid likes to drink tea. That will be Farid suka minum te. If you're gonna say in Japanese, it's te in Japanese ocha, but it's like Farid wa ocha o nomu no ga suki desu. So you can hear some similar words there. That's very interesting. Another thing that I thought interesting, also a reason why I chose Indonesian over Malay is because of Indonesian has a lot of words from Portuguese, such as gereja, which came from the word igreja, church. There's also the word called sepatu for shoe, which is sapato in Portuguese. The word for butter in Indonesian is manteiga, which came from manteiga in Portuguese. The word for shirt is kemeja, which came from camisa in Portuguese. The word for table is meja, which came from mesa in Portuguese. The word for Sunday is mingo, which came from domingo, so Sunday in Portuguese. And the word for Saturday is sabto, which came from sábado. Well, that's why I learned Indonesian. So would you consider learning Indonesian? Please leave your comment in the section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like. If you're not subscribed here, please consider subscribing, because it motivates me to make more videos. And if you subscribe, whenever I have a new video, you know it firsthand. Oh, well, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.